Set 23 ISS ISE Technical question and answers. Answers are highlighted in green. Question 1. Can the individual studies with different therapeutic area and its disease be integrated in ISS and ISE for submission? Answer. No. Individual studies from different therapeutic areas or disease cannot be integrated in ISS and ISE submission. Now, the ISS and ISE are prepared within the same therapeutic area and indication to combine data for consistency, safety, and efficacy evaluation of a specific drug. Now, the reason here is like, say, for example, I have an efficacy parameter for the diabetes and the efficacy parameters for the asthma or the oncology, right? The primary endpoints are different, right? The hypotheses are different and the scenarios are different. So that is the rational reason that different therapeutic areas cannot be integrated in ISS and ISE study. Question 2. Can the individual studies with same therapeutic area and its disease but different treatment route of administration, for example tablet, injection, powder, etc., be integrated in ISS ISE for submission? Answer 2. Yes, studies with the same therapeutic area and disease but different routes of administration, for example tablet, injection, powder, can be integrated in an ISS and ISE study if they involve the same active ingredient and support the same overall indication for regulatory submission. So here the important factor is the ingredient, right? If that is same, especially the active for the molecule or for the medicine, then also if it is the same indication, right? So even if you have the tablet, injection, powder, or a lotion or a cream or any kind of route of administration, it could be oral or whichever way, so those can be integrated provided it has the same ingredient and the same indication. Question 3. Can the individual studies with same therapeutic area and its disease but different treatment dosing unit be integrated in ISS and ISE for submission? So the answer here is yes. Individual studies with the same therapeutic area and disease but different dosing units or regimes can be integrated in ISS ISE if they evaluate the same active drug and the same support for the indication for the submission. So say for example here I am talking about the units. So say if the unit we are testing for this diabetes. So for diabetes we have this glucose as the primary endpoint. So that glucose level should decrease after taking the treatment, especially in the diabetes studies. So now what happens is, like say I have 12 individual studies. So in few of the studies some different units is mentioned, say mg per deciliter, and in some studies it has mentioned millimole per liter, right? So there are different units which are present. So you can even combine those and you can integrate into ISE provided you have the conversion factor, and you will have to convert all the units into one standardized unit, and then you can perform the specific study related to ISS and ISE. Question 4. Can the individual studies with same therapeutic area and its disease but from different phases, that is phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, be integrated in ISS and ISE for submission? So the answer here is yes. Studies from different phases within the same therapeutic area and diseases can be integrated in an ISS and ISE if they involve the same active drug and support the same indication overall safety and efficacy assessment. So now remember one thing, the important factor in the ISS and ISE studies when you need to combine the individual studies. So the first parameter is should be the active ingredient, right? The ingredient should be same and the overall indication it should be same. So once these two factors are same, especially in a molecule or a medicine, so you can combine them even if they are from different phases. Question 5. Can the individual studies with same therapeutic area and its disease and from non-clinical phase 0 trial data and different phases phase 1, 2, 3, 4 be integrated in ISS and ISE for submission? So the answer here is no. Non-clinical or phase 0 clinical trial cannot be integrated with phase 1 to 4 clinical studies in an ISS and ISE because this ISS and ISE include only data clinical from human subjects supporting the safety and efficacy of the drug. Now, what is non-clinical phase 0 kind of a clinical trial? Now, that is a non-clinical trial which it's not conducted on humans, right? It's conducted on animals. So, for those kind of clinical studies which are conducted on animals, you mean to say the testing phase. Now, the phase 0 trials are usually to check the tolerance level, especially in the animals. So, say for example, I have mice or rats or rabbits, right? So I will try to inject that specific medicine or a molecule which I am trying to do the research and development, and I'm trying to do the testing phase. So I want to see what is the tolerance level of that particular medicine through which the mice can take, right? So that tolerance level is decided. Now once the tolerance level is decided and that threshold value is come up, only then the phase 1 which is related into the healthy volunteers which are related to the human subjects, they are conducted. So usually the phase 0 are conducted in, especially in the animals, just to check the tolerance level or to reach to that threshold value, till what level the animals are accepting this specific dose and how much they are able to take that specific dose. Now once that has been conquered, little bit of changes will be done in the molecules and in the medicine, especially in the research and development, and then it will be redefined to make it available for the human volunteers, subjects which can fall in the phase 1 related clinical trial. Question 6. Can the individual studies with same therapeutic area and its disease but with multiple sites conducted in a particular country be integrated in ISS and ISE for submission? Yes. Studies with the same therapeutic area and disease conducted at multiple sites within a country can be integrated in ISS and ISE as long as they evaluate the same drug and the indication and follow comparable protocols and data standards. Now here the main factor is the it should have the same drug or the active ingredient and the overall same indication, no matter even if it is conducted in multiple sites. Like say for example, I will take the country as India. So I have multiple sites which are related to Gurgaon, Delhi, then Mumbai, Rajasthan, then Gujarat, then Bangalore, Mysore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, then Lucknow, then Orissa. So these all multiple sites, the specific study is being conducted. So whatever the studies that are conducted at multiple sites, if they have the same drug and the same indication, you can integrate into ISS and ISE for submission. Question 7. Can the individual studies with same therapeutic area and its disease but with multiple countries conducted globally be integrated in ISS and ISE for submission? So answer here is yes. Studies with same therapeutic area and disease can be conducted in multiple countries globally, be integrated in an ISS and ISE provided they assess the same drug and indication and have consistent study designs and data standards. Now say for example, I have this specific HIV kind of trial which is being conducted. Now there is no cure or a treatment, like for the HIV kind of a disease, so it needs to be conducted globally, I mean like the clinical trials, right? So like say for example, if the HIV related clinical trials are conducted globally, like say for example in India, America, then Singapore, then UK, then in Africa, then in Russia, or in Philippines, in Australia, or Netherlands, or some other part of the countries, if they are being conducted. So it is possible to get integrated all these studies into ISS and ISE, no matter even if they are conducted in multiple countries, as long as they are having the same drug and same indication, they can still be integrated. Question 8. For conducting ISS and ISE study, what approval is needed and from whom and why? Now, for conducting an ISS and ISE trial, regulatory approval is not required, but it is a data integration and analysis activity, and it's not a new clinical study, right? So, whatever the studies that has already been occurred in the past, those we are combining. We are not conducting the new clinical trial study. Understand one thing, ISS and ISE is a combination of those studies which have already been occurred in the past. So what are we going to do is we are just combining that data either horizontally or vertically, whichever the way it is possible as per the respective domains. So we are doing that. We are not conducting any new clinical trial study, right? So it's based on the past related clinical trials data. But however, sponsor and the regulatory affairs team approval is needed internally to ensure the data methodology and analysis meet submission and compliance standards for agencies like FDA or EMA. Now FDA is a USA kind of like submission that you will be required, the agency. EMA is specific for the European agency, there you will require for that approval, right? So no matter, even if the large number of studies that you have which have been occurred in the past, those will be combined into the single new clinical study, right? Question 9. In CRO or sponsor pharmaceutical clinical trial studies, who decides to conduct ISS and ISE study? Now the answer here is, in CRO or any sponsor pharmaceutical companies, the decision to conduct the ISS or ISE study is made by the sponsor. Now sponsor is the whole final stakeholder to make a decision whether we should conduct this study, typically through collaboration between other teams. Now sponsor alone can make a decision, but it will also need the support from the other team members, like say regulatory affairs approval will be needed, the ethics committee, then the clinical operations team, then the biostatistics team who will be doing the analysis, and the data management teams based on the regulatory submission requirements and overall drug development strategy. So if there are any requirements or any strategies that needs to be done to ensure that we get the sufficient interpretation while conducting the ISS and I study, then in those kind of things the individual studies can be combined and the whole sole decision will be made by the sponsor. Now say another factor would be like the data. So when I'm having this say for example 12 individual studies, now when I'm doing the analysis of this 12 individual studies separately, I'm not getting the specific required interpretation or like the results that I'm seeking. So what the sponsor will do in that particular situation, they will try to see like if I combine all those past studies which I have been conducted for that same active molecule and from the same active indication, right, overall indication. So if while combining, if I'm able to get a specific meaningful interpretation of the results, then why should I not combine all this? So anyways, individual studies will give you individual results, but when you compare, it will give you the overall and larger picture, and it will give the better understanding of that specific molecule who is having the same ingredient and the same indication, right? So that helps to make a proper decision whether to get approval or the market approval or like to get the license. So in those scenarios, these ISS and ISC studies are conducted with the help of CRO and the sponsor decision. Question 10. In general, under what stipulated time frame the ISS and ISC study should be completed and submitted to whom? Now, answer here is in general, the ISS and ISC study should be completed and submitted as part of the new drug application, which is NDA, and biologics license application, which is BLA, especially to the regulatory authorities which are US FDA or Europe EMA, right? Now, the time frame is typically prepared after completion of the pivotal phase 3 related trials. Now, phase 3 is related to safety and efficacy parameters checking of the primary endpoints. Now, once that has been passed, you can start initiating conducting this ISS and ISE submission, and this should be ready before the NDA or the BLA submission, usually within 3 to 6 months after the final database is locked, depending on the data volume and complexity. So such kind of time frames can be decided, and that's what you need to follow ethically. Please like, share and subscribe. Leave a feedback comment mentioning any topic that you want me to make a video. Looking forward for a positive response. Thanks for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Leave a feedback comment. Many thanks for your support and having great connection.